Good afternoon, everybody. So the purpose for this video announcement is to provide you all with some updated information about the future of your course. Obviously, I'm sure by this point you are all aware that the school has decided to close the campus down in response to the COVID-19 coronavirus outbreak, which means, and you're going to be seeing me look back and forth at my notes, but that means that we will not be having class during this current week, which is March 16th through the 22nd. You will have your spring break as regularly scheduled during the week of March 23rd through the 29th. And then there's an additional week off from March 30th until April 5th. We will resume our class, at least at the time that this film is being made, we will resume our class during the week of April 6th. The course that you signed up for initially, of course, was a face-to-face on-campus class. All classes starting on April 6th will transform into distance education courses, that is online learning. And so what I wanted to do here was just to provide for you with some information about what your class is going to look like, okay? First and foremost, there has been some minor adjustments to the content. Where before, when we were going to meet face-to-face, we were going to look at World War II and the Japanese-American internment and the Holocaust on separate occasions. At this point, because of the time that was taken to prepare for all of this, we are going to collapse all that into basically 1 week. And so what you will see is if you go to the Canvas homepage, you will see that there is a revised syllabus. And there I have provided for you an updated syllabus as to what this class is going to look like. So for example, during the first week of class when we return, again, which will be the week of April 6th through the 12th, we will look at the history of World War II. The next week we'll look at the 1950s, then the next week the Cold War, all the way up until eventually during the week of May 18th through the 20th, you will take your final section quiz. There is detailed descriptions of that in the syllabus, so you can take a look at the syllabus to get an idea about what we will be looking at. Now, there have been some alterations and changes to your due dates for assignments, as I imagine you're probably aware that obviously we had to make some adjustments for that. If you take a look at the homepage in Canvas or you take a look at the syllabus, you'll note some of the changes. So for example, the third section quiz is now going to be due April 19th, and the fourth section quiz will be due by May 20th. You also have access to the old syllabus still on Canvas, so if you wanted to draw comparisons as to where due dates were versus where they're going to be, you can do that. The other change to assignment due dates would also be your first and second issues and controversies paper. The first issues and controversies paper, which covers America and the Holocaust, will be due on April 12th. And April 12th is a Sunday. And so some of your assignments will now be due on Sundays. Some of your assignments will be due on Thursdays, but all of them will generally be due by 11:59 p.m. So just make sure that you're aware of what the syllabus says, when the times are, and when assignments are due. For the first and second issues and controversies paper, one being on the Holocaust, one being on the Iraq War, those will be due by Sundays, I believe, at 11:59 p.m. The other major change that we are going to have has to do with your reading questions. Now, normally you were submitting those to me in person. Obviously, now you will not do that. You will submit those through Canvas, just like you do any of your other assignments. But there is a slight change to how we're going to be doing these. The questions themselves are going to remain the same, but I'm adding a slight minor assignment. And I want to state from the very beginning that I do not intend to really grade this portion with a fine-tooth comb. It's really intended for me to know that you're going through the weekly materials. So let me read to you what this assignment looks like. Some of it you've already covered, some of it is new. So it states this. For homework, students will compose 5 multiple choice questions based on the information from the online textbook called The American Yap. Questions should be multiple choice and draw only from the material in the chapters, with the correct answer and the section where you found the information noted. Your questions must reflect content from the various sections assigned. As they always have, these questions will be worth 10 points. So there's nothing new there. That's what you've already been doing. But here's the new aspect to this. And in many ways, this assignment, this really should help to bolster your grade, because as I stated before, although I am going to be reading through it and I am going to be looking through your answers, I'm not going to go through it as strictly as I do, say, your primary source analysis papers or your first and second controversies papers. But here's the second component. It says, in addition, you will also need to write a one-page summary of all the lecture material so as to demonstrate that you have looked through the content, all of which will be submitted to you each Monday by 7 a.m. Now, these assignments are going to be due on Thursdays at 11:59 p.m. So in other words, what you're going to have is you're going to have from Monday until Thursdays to go through the materials that I will provide for you, and then to write your 5 multiple choice questions and to write your one-page summary. As many of you probably already do, or maybe you don't, but one of the things you can do, of course, once we resume classes is you are able to work ahead a little bit, particularly when it comes to the reading questions, because you'll have access to that content ahead of the time. The materials that I'm going to be providing for you each Monday will be located in the modules section in Canvas. And every Monday by 7 a.m. I will make available to you information. So for example, when we resume class on April 6th, we're going to be covering World War II. So on Monday, I will make available to you the following things. I will be providing for you a 15 to 20 minute mini lecture, which where I create a YouTube video just like this, and you'll get to see a basic mini lecture about the content. I will be providing you with your reading assignment, which you always would have had. That's not changing. I will be providing you with the PowerPoint lectures that I would have presented to you in class so that you can at least look through that content. And in those PowerPoints, of course, as you know, there are links to videos. You can feel free to click on those. And then I will also be providing you with some supplemental videos that you can look at as well. And basically what you'll do is you'll just go through all that content on your reading. You'll do the 5 reading questions. You'll write a one-page summary, basically overviewing the content for the week. You can feel free to write more than one page if you would like. Obviously, that's going to benefit you in learning more content if you do, but I'm only requiring one-page summary. And I'm doing that because obviously I can't confirm that you've gone through the content in the same way that I could before, right? If you showed up to class, then obviously you're demonstrating that you participated in the process of learning the information. And I didn't want to create discussion boards or additional blogs or what have you. So that's why that's happening. So collectively, these questions and the one-page summary will be worth a total of 30 points. And so every week, there'll be 30 points up to grab. And for the most part, those points are not going to be graded too strictly. That doesn't mean I'm not going to be looking at them and you know, assessing you, but just understand that there are other assignments which I feel are a bit more weighty. Here, I just want to make sure that you're getting the content, because obviously once you get to the quizzes, you're going to want to make sure that you know that. The other thing that you still have to do would be the final research project. Some of you have not yet contacted me as to which topic you would like to do, so please make sure that you do that. The due date for that assignment did not change. It's still due April 28th, except the time changed. Instead of it being due at 9:30 a.m. on April 28th, it's now going to be due at 11:59 p.m. on April 28th. So hopefully that helps to explain what we're going to be doing. And at any point where you would like to have a meeting, you know, where we can maybe FaceTime one another or have a phone call, we can definitely do that. But for the most part, each week you'll be given a module of information. And then for the most part, unless it's a quiz or a paper, such as the first issues and controversies paper, most of your work will be due by Thursdays at 11:59 p.m. Quizzes and issues and controversies papers will generally be due by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. For those of you who are in the honors section, I'm going to go ahead and just let you know that obviously the presentation portion of your assignment obviously can't happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to take the 30 points that we would have given you for your presentation and attach that to the larger paper that you are working on. The due date for your paper actually did change. So for those of you who are in the honors section, and I think there's 2 of you, note that your paper will now be due May 7th by 11:59 p.m. That is a Thursday, May 7th at 11:59 p.m. I think for the most part, for those of you who are in the honors section, you might want to take a picture of the syllabus where my signatures were to demonstrate that you went to the meetings, so that I can award you those points. And any additional meetings that we have, we can do through either FaceTime or we can do through Skype, although I'd have to figure out how to work that. I'm not that bright. Or we can do through email. At any rate, for those of you who are in the honors section, just get in contact with me, and if you have any questions, let me know. That pretty much sums up what we've got and what we're going to be looking like. Again, if you go to the Canvas homepage, there you will see where it says course syllabus, revised, updated syllabus for online. That's the syllabus you're going to be working with now. And then honors students, I will do my part to try and update your syllabus here in the next couple days to reflect any changes. But for the most part, I think I have covered the changes that would impact you. So that's where we're at. If you guys have questions, you can feel free to contact me over the next few weeks if you would want to. I'm not requiring that you contact me before April 6th. Although one thing I do want you to be aware of is that during the week that we do return, we are covering World War II, and the first Issues and Controversies paper will be due April 12th. So it will be due during that first week that we return. Again, I'm not requiring that you work on that during this time where the campus is closed down, but just as a reminder, if you will, or as an update as to when things are due. So that's what we got. Contact me if you have any questions. Otherwise, as always, go in peace, be warm and filled. May the force be with you. Live long and prosper, and may the odds forever be in your favor. Have a blessed week, everybody.